Yo, what is going on, homies? It's your boy Stumped, back for another Optc video, and in today's video, we're over here on the Japanese side of the game, taking on the new 30 stamina 8-star event against the first representation of our boy, Mr. Morgan. So in today's video, I have 3 teams for you guys to actually take this event down, and with this new event comes a new mechanic. So basically what that means is there is a new debuff that the enemy can apply to you that gives you attack down depending on your chain limit. So what that means is when you get your chain limit above whatever the attack down limit is when you will actually start doing damage. As far as I am aware, there is no way of actually getting around this besides actually using something like a chain lock or a chain boost, and it really brings those chain buff characters into play and gives them a nice indirect buff, I suppose. But in today's video, as I mentioned, we do have 3 teams for you guys, and all of these teams do have boosted units. So with this event becomes boosted characters to help you guys get the Chopper Man missions done. I do have a team, like there are a whole bunch of teams that can actually clear this without the boosted units, but it's the easiest way to actually get those Chopper Man missions done. So with that said, let's dive into the content. Alright, so the first team is utilizing a Kaido with the friend Captain Lucci. Now this particular team is not actually my team, so huge shout out to Sky Steve in our Discord for showing me this particular team. It is very free to play friendly, but it does use the support of Jinbei, the one that came out at the start of time, as well as something like Shiki or Buggy to give you guys an attack boost at the end. Again, this is not my team, so big shout out to Steve and big shout out to the creator of this particular team. I will leave a link in the description, and I do apologize that I can't pronounce your name. But make sure to go check him out, hit him with a like, and hit him with a sub. But because this is a Kaido team, I do want to just showcase the whole particular fight, as Kaido teams can actually do things very efficiently and very fast when Kaido actually works. And because this content is built around decks, and there is no normal attacks only, Kaido works very, very well. Once we hit stage 3, we come up against just a lackey, and what the lackey does is he gives us that new debuff, which gives us 3 turns of attack down depending on our chain growth mechanics. So ideally, once you get past, I think it's the 2 times chain lock, you can start doing your regular damage, but before that, you actually have the attack down, which is a little bit annoying. Once we hit stage 4, we come up against Morgans. Now, Morgans is going to have 2 lackeys. He binds our bottom row for 5 turns. He puts up 3 turns of defense up and gives us 5 turns of attack down. So we're going to use our Hody special here to give ourselves a nice little HP cut, and then we're just going to let Kaido just do all the heavy lifting and just go through all of those, please kill. Thank you. I was struggling to actually get this done with Kaido. Turns out you just need to have some cotton candy on the Kaido and a pretty good support to give you a bit of a base stat boost. Once you hit the final stage against Morgans, he turns it into a quick unit, and he's also going to give us a full bit of block orbs, put up 5 turns of damage reduction and defense up, as well as give us 99 turns of that new mechanic. So with the support of Shiki, we can get an attack buff, as you can't use an attack buff or a chain lock on this final stage. We're going to use this special of Yonko to rotate all of our block orbs, as well as remove the damage reduction. We have Jack to give us color affinity and remove the attack down, the Kazuna Jack 6+. We have the Morgan special, purely just so we can get this Jinbei support. And then we can use the Lucci special. Lucci's going to give us a 2.5 times orb boost and a base stat boost to our Dex, Powerhouse, and Fighter characters. And then we can use the super typing to turn that 2.5 times orb boost into a 2.8 times orb boost. Now remember that Yonko isn't actually getting boosted on this team, so start the chain with Yonko, and then we can finish it off with our Dex units. And once we get past that chain, as you guys can see there, we can do a lot of damage. So that was the free-to-play friendly team in quotation marks. It actually works really, really well, and shout out to that. I think he's a Korean creator, or she's a Korean creator. But will give you guys around 2.42 points, and is very free to play friendly. So let's move on to the next team now. Moving on to the second team now, we are utilizing a Reiju and Vivi hybrid team. So this is the team, these are the supports. Let's dive in. Alright, so over here on stage 3, and we come up against a lackey. Now, they're going to give us 3 turns of that new debuff with the chain. You get an attack down until you hit a chain. So, I'm going to show you guys what that means by that. So, as you guys can see here, when we start actually hitting our perfects, our chain starts to make its way up. And as you can see, we don't really start doing damage until that Bello Betty shot. So around that sort of 2 times chain lock. Now, I don't know if that's going to change with like every single time we get the debuff, but it is a little bit annoying. And as you can tell, we don't get too much damage. Because we are using the friend captain Vivi, that is like the treasure cruise friend captain, we do have to stall a little bit longer than necessary. But if you have a good friend, you can easily just blitz this on the first turn. Once we've done that, we can use the super typing of our Vivi. That way we can give ourselves an attack buff, and then we can just sort of take the rest of this particular stage out. You could use the Bello Betty special there as well, actually. We don't really need the Bello Betty special for the final stage, so you could easily use that there as well to get around that chain buff, debuff as well. Once you hit the next stage against Morgans, he puts up 3 turns of defense up, binds our bottom row, and gives us 5 turns of attack down. Koala's really, really good here, because she can not only remove the bind, but she also removes the attack down, and gives us a color affinity buff. We're going to get a chain buff mechanic with our Bello Betty. That's for 3 turns, which is really, really handy. We can then use the special of our Reiju. That is going to give us an attack boost for 3 turns. We can use the super typing of our Reiju to give ourselves an orb boost, and then we can finish it off with the Markino special. Now with Markino, she's absolutely replaceable with any unit that can remove defense up. Even if they're not boosted, you could easily just still bring someone, but if you do have this treasure map Markino, she's really, really good for this. Now on this stage, we're going to attack with our 3 strength units, hit with Stussy last on Morgans, and then finish it off with our int units against the units in the back. That way we can get the carryover of the Koala color affinity, and we can actually take out this whole stage in 1 turn, and actually carry the 3 turns of the attack buff that Reiju can provide to Cerebral Powerhouse and in characters into the final stage. Once Morgan dies, he runs away, but he will come back on the next turn. He turns into a quick unit. He gives us a full board of block orbs, 99 turns of that new attack down chain lock mechanic, and puts up 5 turns of damage reduction, defense up, and auto heal. So you can't use attack boost, you can't use chain locks on this final stage, which makes it a little bit annoying. But thanks to Reiju, we have an attack boost. We can use Vivi for an orb boost and a full board of orbs. And then we can actually remove the damage reduction with our Stussy special. Stussy's also going to extend our chain buff or give us a 1.0 chain buff. That's why you can easily use Bello Betty on stage 3. Now, even though Morgan still has a defense up, literally just because Stussy has color affinity here, we should be able to get through this. Easy peasy. So, there you guys go. That was the Vivi and Reiju team. It did use the new rare recruit Stussy, so if you did get lucky enough to pick her up, I do think she's a lot better than the Kaku. It will actually work very, very well without using a friend captain Lucci. It does have a multiplier of 2.09 points, apparently, so a little bit less than the Kaido team, which is it's a little bit of a shame. I actually thought this was going to have more points as all the characters are boosted, but look, it is what it is at the end of the day. It was a lot of fun. Let's move on to the final team now. And the final team of the video is utilizing a double Lucci-led team with Stussy and the new Morgans on the team. So this is the team. These are the supports. Let's dive in. Alright, so we're over here on stage 3, and we come up against one of the lackeys that gives us the 3 turns of that new debuff. Now, with this particular team, Vivi is completely replaceable. She's not actually getting boosted. You could easily replace her with Ivankov, and then use the support of Buggy on Morgans to get around that attack buff annoyance. But the big reason I've put her here is so she can actually remove the block orbs. Now, on this particular stage, we're basically just going to just hit our perfects and just do as much damage as we possibly can. As you can see, we are doing very limited damage because of that new debuff, but once we hit that sort of 2-point-something chain lock, we can start doing a lot of damage. On the second turn, we are just going to take the lackey out. She does give us that mechanic where we can't turn recovery into recovery. It actually does damage with recovery orbs, of course, but it really doesn't matter too much as we're basically just going to take her out with that Morgan shot. Once we hit the next stage, we come up against Morgans and 2 of his lackeys. They're going to give us 5 turns of an attack down and 5 turns of bind. And this is where Koala is really, really good. But if you were lucky enough to summon Kaku, you can easily use the Kaku special to get around that. The beautiful thing about Koala is she can actually give color affinity as well, which is really, really good for the Stussy unit. We're going to wrap it up with our Lucci special and one of our Lucci super types. That way we can get a base stat boost and a 2.8 times orb boost, and we're just going to absolutely decimate this particular stage against Morgans. See you later. Once Morgans dies, he does run away, and then he comes back on the final stage, once again as a quick unit. I think he's Dex, and then he turns into quick, I'm pretty sure. And he gives us a full board of block orbs. He puts up 5 turns of auto heal, damage reduction, and defense up, and then gives us 99 turns of that new chain lock attack down mechanic. So what we're going to do on this particular stage, we are going to use our, what's his name? We're going to use our Lucci special first. Lucci's going to give us an ore boost and a chain, like a base stat boost. We're then going to use his super type because Vivi actually has the ability to boost the chain buff. Like, if you have, an ore buff. So if you have an ore buff, she can boost it by 0.25. Lucci boosts it by 0.3. So it's a little bit better to use Lucci. Lucci also removes the defense up, which is really, really nice. Vivi rotates the block orbs. Stussy gives us a chain buff, as well as removing the damage reduction. And then Morgans is just Morgan. So, like, he's just there being a real cool dude. With that, we can just sort of start hitting our perfects. We can start building up that chain multiplier. And we can take out Morgans with our boy Morgans himself. So there you guys go. That was the new event, utilizing boosted units to help you guys get those Chopper Man missions done as quickly as possible. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this video today. If you did, make sure to go in there and belt the like button for me if you're new to the channel. Hit that big red subscribe button too. But guys, wherever you are in this beautiful world, please remember to enjoy the rest of your day. As always, homies, I thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Later!